Howdy, folks. Thanks for taking a look at today's blog. It's a really quick and down and dirty one today. It's basically dealing with installing, uninstalling previous versions of Solid Edge and what should be done. A lot of times I'll help customers who have issues with Solid Edge, something maybe not running right, maybe they can't get it to uninstall or reinstall. I'll show you some of the things to look for here. So one of the things I noticed if I go to, go where Solid Edge is loaded, see Program Files, Solid Edge, SD10. All right, so you'll see Solid Edge SD10, Solid Edge SD9. Sometimes I've seen always, 6 or 7 versions of Solid Edge still listed in the program file directory. That basically tells me they didn't necessarily go through the steps to completely uninstall Solid Edge before the next version was loaded. So sometimes things get left over in the DLLs and the registry, and it can cause problems. One of the problems I've seen recently was couldn't get KeyShot to load. So we had to go through, uninstall, clean the registry, do a new install, everything was fine. Somebody actually had a problem recently with uninstalling Solid Edge. So I got some tools here I'll show you where to get to and what to clean up. One's manual and one is a tool that lets you do it. So let me manually show you where Solid Edge is in the registry. So if you just type in the start down here in the Windows, just type in REGEDIT, regedit. All right. So again, if you're in an organization, sometimes your IT may have you locked out of this, and you won't be able to go to do this. But this is something they should do if they're loading Solid Edge for you. All right, so we go to regedit. All right, so once you uninstall Solid Edge, a lot of times if you go to HKey current user, software, scroll down. Right now, this is still under UGS. All right, so in the new version of Solid Edge, 2019, everything will be shown as Siemens PLM stuff. All right, so you won't see Unigraphics in here anymore. So you'll actually, if you don't uninstall it correctly, you'll have a Unigraphics solution with Solid Edge, and you'll also have the new Siemens registries as well. So you'll just have a really big mess. All right, so what you can typically do is you can just kind of right-click that top folder and just delete that entire registry folder. Just something to note while we're in here. Sometimes in Solid Edge, if you lose the menu bar, or I have seen it for some reason, the menu bar disappears or an icon disappears. It doesn't happen often, but it has. And there's a registry setting you can go into if you just open up a version that you're in and look for something called prefsets. So PREFSETS, preference settings. If you delete that one registry setting, you just delete it. What that does is just set Solid Edge back to the factory default. It will actually put all your menus back. When you start Solid Edge, it'll ask you, what theme do you want to use, balanced, et cetera, et cetera. So what you can do is delete that. Everything goes back to the beginning. Just reset it, and you're good to go. But I'm not going to do that because I already have it set up the way I want. All right, so again, the Unigraphics folder is the one you want to get rid of. That'll get rid of all the registries. If you go to software, close that back down, go to HKey local machine. This is one you really don't want to mess with, especially if Solid Edge is running good already. You can really hose up your software if you delete anything out of this software folder for the Unigraphics Solid Edge. Anything from the current user, you can delete that entire setting while Solid Edge is running. You're not really going to mess anything up. Under HKey local machine, you can really hose it up. So be very careful. So only mess with this after you have Solid Edge uninstalled. All right. So that is one place to look. Another place that is kind of a hidden location for Solid Edge files is if you go to, just type in %app data. So %app data %. All right, so this is kind of a typically a hidden folder as well. So inside of here, we have another Unigraphics solution folder. So if I open that, I have Solid Edge. And you can see here, I have some version 107, 108, 109 stuff. So I haven't really taken the time to clean this up very well. So inside of here, you have some of your favorites, your XML. I think this is where your preference for your settings for Solid Edge gets stored. So that's why typically you don't go mess with it. But you see some standard part stuff in here. So that's why this typically doesn't get uninstalled. But if you're doing a fresh install, it is good to go ahead and get rid of it. You don't necessarily have to go do it on a new install, just to let you know that. All right. But this is, again, another location. And so that's kind of the manual way to go through and uninstall Solid Edge, then go clean the registry, get it ready for the new install. And again, you can also, I believe it still leaves, I don't believe it actually gets rid of the Solid Edge. It may still leave this ST10 folder, but you can just right click and delete that after you're done, and that'll just kill that once it's uninstalled. All right. Remember, there are some things that it does leave. If you do have any custom frames that you have stored in Solid Edge, which is not recommended, if you have frame components that you custom make, it's better to store those outside of Solid Edge and just point to those so you don't uninstall them. I've done that a multitude of times where I've added custom frame components in here, uninstalled and not thinking, and go back into my frame, and well, those components no longer exist. So it's good to keep those outside of there. And to the that's the manual way, to the automatic tools. All right, so you can download this from the GTAC website. So again, I just do a Google search for GTAC. That's Global Technical Access Center, Siemens PLM. All right, so if I go here, and we want to go to download, upload files. I've already talked about how to create a login for this. So if you look on our YouTube page, there is a what GTAC can do for you and what all the other locations of GTAC do. All right, so this one's for downloading Solid Edge files. We have Solid Edge. All right, so if you look in the full products, you get the typical Solid Edge, whichever version, all the way back to SD1. So let's go to product updates and support tools. All right, so support tools, expand that out, and we want to look for SE cleanup. All right, so let me open this folder up, and let me just open the text file. So you can see, I believe it tells you exactly kind of what it does. So let me make that a little bit bigger. All right, so again, warning, SE cleanup.exe removes registry entries. Do not use this tool if you have a very Solid Edge installed. Again, so this will clean up stuff outside of Solid Edge. So once you have Solid Edge uninstalled, go ahead and run this, and this is kind of what I did with this registry. You know, if you want to go into the registry again, just type in REGEDIT to get into the registry, just to double check that it got rid of everything. All right, so again, it's a very small download. It is 20 kilobytes. So it's a very small tool, it runs very quick. So that is, again, the automatic way to clean up registry for Solid Edge. I've actually seen somebody had this problem with the last Windows update. It remapped their Solid Edge to different drives for some reason once the Windows update ran. So he actually used this tool, cleaned the registry, then remapped everything, and he was good to go. All right, so that is the tools, and that is the proper way to uninstall Solid Edge. Now, then it's just a matter of downloading the full-blown C Solid Edge. I do offer our customers my Dropbox to get Solid Edge. Again, you also have the ability to go through Solid Edge, get to the full product. It is a large download, so it is full product. Sorry, it's a 3 gigabyte download. So it will take a little bit. Well, actually on 3.3. So it's a pretty good size file to download. So if you're out on a slow network, it could take a good chunk of time to get that downloaded. So anyway, I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at Switch Technologies. All right. Thank you, folks. Bye-bye.